So we're continuing our discussion of how the dialog component can execute methods on the embedded grid component. And what we were discussing is how the object name of the embedded grid is constructed by taking the dialog alias and then the embedded grid alias and constructing the object name from that. But since that's tedious to remember, what we can do over here is just simply go to Insert and then choose Placeholders, and in the list of placeholders we see that there's a placeholder there for dialog.embeddedGrid, and then you can see square brackets grid alias, which would be of course replaced by the real alias of the dialog. So in this case that alias was EMB grid, which you can see clearly matches over here the component alias EMB grid. So going back to the JavaScript here, so this now becomes the object name of the embedded grid component, and now we just need to call the grid base filter set method of the grid to set its filter. If we wanted to set its order, we could set that property, and if this filter used any arguments, we could set the argument values over there. Now to get the name of the this method, we can go to Insert and then we can go here and choose Grid Methods. If I chose Insert Method there, I would be seeing the methods of the dialog component, but in this case I actually want to see the methods of the grid component. So if I go there and then just type in filter, I can see that there's a grid base filter set and a grid filter set method, and the difference is described in description over here. But the important point here is that I've been able to embed a component. In this case it's a grid component, but I could also embed dialog components and custom components, reports, etc. into my dialog component, and then from the parent dialog component I've been able to call any of the methods on the embedded grid. So this is an extremely powerful extension to the functionality of version 11, and I hope that you found this interesting. Thanks very much.